You have probably heard investors say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, ETFs are a great way to implement that advice. In this video, I'll explain what ETFs are, how they work, and then I'll show you a simple and easy way to research ETFs for your portfolio. So let's get started. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, which is basically a fancy way to say that ETFs are a basket of stocks. Let's say that you want to invest $10,000 in the EV industry, and you probably already know that Tesla is a good EV stock, but you don't want to risk putting all $10,000 in a single company, right? I mean, one bad tweet from Elon could make you lose 10% in a single day. Now, one option you have is to research which EV companies are good and try to diversify your portfolio yourself. Or the other option is to invest $10,000 in an ETF that focuses on the EV sector. An example would be Drive, which is an ETF that includes about 80 EV and tech companies, including Tesla, Toyota, and more. So if Tesla or any other single stock goes down, it wouldn't really affect your portfolio because the ETF has many other stocks to keep it balanced. Drive is an example of a sector-based ETF that focuses on the EV companies. If you're passionate about clean energy, cybersecurity, airlines, pharma, or whatever it may be, there's an ETF out there that contains the top companies in that sector. There are also ETFs that track an index such as SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, or DIA, which tracks the Dow Jones. If you're interested in commodities such as gold and oil or bonds, there are ETFs for that as well. If you want to invest in companies outside of the United States, there are ETFs that track the international markets as well. And lastly, there are leverage ETFs that give you a 2 or 3 times exposure to an index, but they are designed for short-term trading and could be very risky. We'll make a separate video about that. So now that you know what an ETF is, let's talk about how to research them. There are many resources out there, but my favorite one is ETF.com. So you want to go to Tools and Data tab and choose Screener and Database. This will take you to the ETF Finder. On the left side, you will see a bunch of filters. If you're looking for a sector-based ETF, go to Classification, Niche, and choose the sectors you're interested in. I'm passionate about environment, so I'll go ahead and choose Environment and Renewable Energy. As you can see, there are 24 ETFs for us to choose from. Now, all ETFs have 2 important attributes that you should know of: expense ratio and AUM. Expense ratio is the annual management fee that is charged by the company that manages the fund. Anything less than 0.75% is considered good. And AUM is basically the market cap of the ETF. Large ETFs have a bigger AUM value and are likely to be less volatile. So I'm going to Trading Data, Expense Ratio, and set the range to 0.6%. And then go to AUM and set the low end to 150 million. As you can see, we have narrowed down the results to 5 ETFs. Now let's open ICLN and take a look. The overview section will tell you about the types of companies this fund is focused on. On the right side, you will see that the fund has an inception date from 2008, which is when the fund began trading. I generally prefer ETFs that are at least 5 years or older. Next up, you'll see that the fund has an MSCI rating of AAA, which is really good. MSCI is basically a rating of how well the fund is expected to perform long-term against various economic risks. Now let's scroll down and look at the fund's performance. I prefer to look at the 3-year chart. It seems like this fund had a massive bull run in 2020 and has been down since last year. It's getting closer to the price of $14 before the 2020 crash, and I kinda don't like that. But that's okay. Finally, let's take a look at the top 10 countries and the top 10 holdings. It looks like international companies make more than 60%, which is not too bad, but I was hoping that US companies would make up more because I'm not really educated on the international markets and companies in this sector. I do recognize some of the companies in the top 10 holdings, but I'm going to look at the other ETF from the list. Let's open up QCLN and check out its top 10 countries and holdings. Let's scroll down, and as you can see that US makes up 80% of this fund. And it's also holding Tesla at 8%. I did want Tesla to be a part of my portfolio, and ICLN didn't have that, so that's a deal breaker for me. I checked out the other ETFs from the list and I didn't like their holdings, so for me, it seems like QCLN is the perfect match. So that's how you can research sector-based ETFs. Now let me go back to the ETF Finder and show you how to find different types of ETFs. Let's click on Reset All to clear the filters. Now, to find an ETF for an index, go to Classification, Segment, and check Equity US Large Cap, Mid Cap, and Small Cap. This will show you all the ETFs tracking indexes such as S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, Russell 2000, and more. To find an ETF for a commodity, go to Classification, Asset Class, and Commodities. If you're interested in something specific, go to Focus and choose the one you're interested in, such as coffee. For international markets, you want to go to Location, Region, and choose the markets you're interested in. And finally, if you're interested in checking out ETFs issued by a specific company such as Vanguard, Fidelity, or Cathie Wood's ARK, then you can go to Issuer, Brand, and choose the brand you're interested in. If this video was helpful to you, please consider hitting the like button so YouTube can show it to more people. We're a small team of 2 people, and our goal is to simplify finance and investing, so we would really appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.